Welcome to a new video here from the Wunschgetreu test section. This is the BT5515 beard trimmer from Philips. We've tested it for you, so stay tuned to find out everything you need to know. Let's go. The first point on our list here is the battery life, which is among the best in our test at 90 minutes. Philips also scores well in the market comparison with a charging time of just 1 hour. And if we combine this with the 5-minute quick charge function, the Philips beard trimmer is one of the top devices on the market when it comes to batteries. The fact that the device also comes with mains operation is a nice bonus. But in terms of running and charging time, you will probably rarely need it. The only shortcoming in terms of the battery is the monitoring. Of course, it would have been nice to have a display with bars or as a percentage. Instead, there is only a charge and low battery indicator. However, this is standard for beard trimmers. In other words, most other devices don't do any better. The cutting range of the Philips goes up to 20 millimeters, which is a very good value compared to other beard trimmers. The device is also at the forefront when it comes to cutting lengths. The comb attachments can be positioned between 0.4 and 20 millimeters in a total of 40 length settings. The only small disadvantage is the different length intervals. You start by setting in 0.2 millimeters increments. This eventually becomes 0.5, and later, even 1.0 millimeter increments. And that's per comb attachment. With 2 comb attachments, this can seem a bit confusing, but the bottom line is that you can manage, and you should usually find a suitable setting. There are also a few other special features and functions. Firstly, there is the precision wheel for the length adjustment, which is arranged and installed in a slightly different way compared to most other trimmers. Secondly, there is the so-called Lift and Trim Pro system, which is designed to lift the hair before cutting them. Unfortunately, what we miss on the device is a switch-on lock, which we would of course have liked to have so that it doesn't accidentally start vibrating in the travel bag. By the way, you can find the link to the Philips BT5515 below the video in the description. And if you liked our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave us a like. Now let's get down to the essentials. Let's use this device. But before we take a look at the cutting performance itself, let's take a closer look at the appliance and how it works. The design of the Philips beard trimmer is pretty well chosen. The device itself has a slight curve, and the angle of the blade is set at the perfect angle. In addition, we have this recess on the device, which allows us, although the device is quite large, to hold it securely in our hand. And this means we can guide the appliance quite well when shaving. This at least applies when the appliance and our hands are dry. If moisture is involved, the Philips unfortunately lacks the rubberized surface. Of course, this is a bit of a shame, but it still provides sufficient grip and a secure hold. The Philips BT is also a very comfortable device in other respects. Weighing in at 172 grams, it ranks in the mid-range in terms of weight, and is relatively quiet at around 56 decibels, which is of course always a factor with beard trimmers and such, as you can get quite close to your ears here. The vibration in the palm of the hand is also kept within limits. Here we are even a tick better than the Braun beard trimmer. The blade also takes a while to warm up, which also increases the comfort during usage. We only find the comb attachment slightly scratchy on the skin. Could have been better, but at the end of the day, it didn't bother us that much. As far as cutting lengths are concerned, we have to say that Philips already provides a good start. The blade itself, with a cutting range of 0.4 millimeters, is already pretty short compared to other trimmers. Nevertheless, the feeling of safety is relatively high, and you quickly start to trust the blade. Of course, it's still possible to cut yourself with it, but that would take some practice. If, on the other hand, you want to leave your beard a little longer, you can adjust the length using the comb attachments and the precision wheel. I find it very practical that you can adjust the cutting length very easily here. The individual lengths lock into place, and so the whole thing doesn't shift again. What's not quite so practical is that you can do the whole thing with 2 fingers rather than just 1. The wheel should be guided from the front and back with the index and middle fingers. Ideally, you should hold the device firmly with your second hand so that you can adjust the length of the device safely. And that is one of the few disadvantages of using this beard trimmer. Although the length adjustment locks securely into place, it can be a bit annoying in everyday use if used several times a week, especially as there are concepts on the market that do it better. See, for example, the Braun BT7340. Okay, let's start with trimming. Remo grew his beard and is now getting started with the large comb attachment set to 18 millimeters. First of all, it has to be said that the long length settings were always the biggest challenge with all the devices we reviewed, and measured against this, we really liked the results of the Philips BT. And not only that, we also liked the 5 millimeters performance with the small comb attachment. This counts as well with 3 millimeters shown here on the arm. In all cases, we felt the result was even a bit better than with the Braun BT7240 and BT7340 models, which in our opinion are the top devices among beard trimmers. The situation is slightly different when trimming with the naked blade. We tried it again both on the face and on the arm. The results were good as expected, but in our opinion they didn't come close to the Braun models. All in all, however, it has to be said that the differences are only marginal. They are noticeable, but I doubt that it makes a big difference to you out there whether you use a Braun BT or a Philips BT. Perhaps the skin type plays a role, but we don't see any other influencing factors here. By the way, the package also includes a detail trimmer attachment, which we liked in the case of the Philips BT. In terms of performance, it is comparable to the normal trimmer attachment, but the main reason it caught our eye was because it feels very soft and comfortable on the skin. We've already had detail trimmers that scratched us or pulled out some hair, so we were pleasantly surprised here. And as a reminder, you can find the link to the Philips BT5515 below the video in the description. And if the video was helpful to you, please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. So, Remo's done and his beard is off. And now what? Well, of course, clean it up. Sadly, the beard trimmer also needs some grooming. This works quite well with the Philips, because of the fact that the appliance is waterproof and you can therefore rinse the trimmer under running water. To be honest, however, it has to be said that most appliances now offer this option, so it's not really that special. More interesting is the blade and the associated question of when it should be replaced. The Philips BT has a blade that is supposed to be self-sharpening, as is the case with some competitor appliances. Such a statement naturally implies a long service life. But let's be honest, the blade will certainly not last forever, but you can probably assume that you should have peace of mind for a certain period of time. Finally, let's take a quick look at the scope of delivery. Apart from the beard trimmer itself, the most important parts are definitely the two comb attachments, and of course the charging stand with the power supply unit. The aforementioned detail trimmer could also be very useful. We also have a travel and storage bag, a cleaning brush, and of course, a whole bunch of paperwork. Let's come to the conclusion. The Philips BT5515 is a beard trimmer in the mid to upper price range and does justice to this classification. Some minor improvements could be a switch-on lock, some softer comb attachments, and a slightly better designed precision wheel. But, apart from these rather minor points, that's it. Overall, we have a solid device with a high level of comfort, which also does its job very well in its core function, namely trimming and pruning. If you add up all the points, the Philips doesn't quite come close to the Braun BT7240 and BT7340 models in our overall assessment, but it is right on their heels. So if you are looking for a branded appliance in this price range, the Philips BT5515 could be a possible alternative to other well-known branded appliances. So we've tested this product for you. If you're interested, take a look at the video description below, where you'll find a link to the whole thing. Otherwise, I'd be delighted if you'd stay tuned, as our Endcard will follow with a few interesting video suggestions.